wanted to look at how we plan on saving thousands of dollars due to having a really good plan when it comes to purchasing our bee equipment from Mann. So let's get started. When my husband and I began our beekeeping journey, we heard really good things about Mann, and so we got onto their website to look for our first purchase for bee equipment. And you get on that site, and they've got so many options. They've got hive kits, which kind of have all your basics in one spot, which is great. But then the next time you go to purchase things, what were we supposed to be purchasing? They've got painted pieces, they've got unpainted, they've got assembled and unassembled, and the factors that come into play here just started us down this rabbit hole of trying to, one, gain a knowledge of the terminology and make good purchases, but then also trying to figure out how much time, effort, money, and storage do we have when it comes to what we want to buy. So wanted to take you along on the Excel sheet that my husband has built. He has put a ton of information and data in that. Wanted to start out saying that if any of you want this sheet, you find value in it, or you're interested in it, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. So if you want to leave a comment below, we'll be happy to get that to you. But let's dive in. So after we spent some time looking at all the factors that mattered to us, we kind of narrowed them down to these three that you see. We have assembly and painting time, how much money is involved, and then how much paint expense is there going to be, because you can get things painted or unpainted. So we grouped the options from Mann kind of into these three buckets. You can buy kits that are fully assembled and painted. So we call them the turnkey kit. You're ready to go, pull them out, stick them out, ready for your bees. There are some options where there's some assembly needed and required, and then there's painting required, and then there's the full assembly and full painting required. So we are starting to formulate our plan for 2024, and I'll go through that example in just a second, but trying to figure out, do we have more money or more time? That's kind of what it boils down to for us. The first step that my husband took was to go through Mann website and record the prices of all these options. Hence, you can see why we were getting a little overwhelmed. When it comes to purchasing bee equipment, we personally will just keep this up to date. We know that prices change, they fluctuate. But this is for our use. Again, happy to share this with anyone that's interested. So as we get to this page, wanted to start at the top and just note that we wanted to be able to manipulate how many hives we wanted to buy and look for any price breaks or any sweet spots to get the most bang for our buck. So right now I have 12 entered in there, and we'll play around with that. He took each of the kind of bigger boxes, and I've hidden the rest of these components like this list of kind of bill of materials, what we were calling them. So for fully disassembled manual build cost, this is all the components that we would have to buy, and it's per hive. How many do you need? So we need 2 deep hive boxes per hive. We've got 12 hives in this example that we want to buy. It means we need 24. So this is where it gets interesting to me. Mann only orders or only has certain quantities of each component that you can buy. So in deep hive boxes, they only come in quantities of 5, which means that we're going to have a few left over. So this minimum order quantity overages has to do with what is it that we're purchasing that we're not going to be able to use immediately, but we can store and use for future endeavors. But we just wanted to know, we're purchasing it, but we don't need it. So how do we minimize that if we have a storage issue? And then it's the cost of what is actually needed. So as you can see from this example of 12 hives, you can see the different cost points or price points. The other thing that I do want to note is that we realized that Mann runs sales. So there was a recent sale that was 45% off certain components. And so if we were able to take advantage of that, so if we had the money to cover it, if we had the ability to store it, there's some significant cash that could be saved. So we took advantage of that sale based upon what this Excel sheet said to us. And so it's yes, I'm here for this. So I think as I think about playing this out, we have 6 hives. We want to go to 60. That's a lot of hives that we need to buy. So let's just stick that in there and say at 54 hives, this is where the thousands of dollars can be saved if we are thoughtful, if we plan ahead, if we make sure that we have what we need, and then we can also minimize the amount of things that we're buying that we don't need immediately. So those are kind of the two elements to this. So let's go ahead and walk you through what we're thinking for 2024 and how we use this Excel sheet. So let's do that. Okay, at the time that I am recording this, it's almost the end of July, which is crazy. So we're thinking about 2024. We have 6 hives. Our goal for 2024 is to go to either 12 to 18, kind of in that range is where we'd like to land. And so as I think about using this, we have a lot of time in our hands this winter to be able to put equipment together, to be able to paint things. So we have a lot of time on our hands. We have more time than we have money, so would like to save money. We're not in a pinch. We're planning ahead. And then we just know paint expenses, they're there, and it's also a factor. So for us, we have been looking at some assembly and painting required. So again, we put a little bit of time into that, less money than at fully assembled turnkey, and we know there's some painting expenses. So this is kind of where we were landing on some assembly, some painting required. So go over to the summary table. So I said we needed 12, so I switched this over to 12 hives. And so as we look at the price breaks for us, it looks like the promotional sale plus box build plus assembled frames is kind of where our sweet spot is. It's a little less when it comes to having to store equipment that we're not going to use immediately, but the savings are significant. So we've got hundreds of dollars saved just on that. The other item that, as we were kind of just throwing in every number out there, quantity possible, we realized that at 15 hives, Mann Lake has it set up, I'm assuming on purpose because they're smart people, have it set up in order quantities of 15 to have the least amount of overages. So again, this is items that we can purchase, but we aren't going to have to store. We can get what we need when we need it. So least amount there, still paying around $4,000. So one, this gives us an opportunity to start saving for that $4,000. So either putting aside money now or sooner than later. But also it helps us understand that these promotional sales for us are really, really helpful. We've heard that Mann Lake usually runs around 11% sale for Black Friday. So again, if we throw it in here and say, hey, what's left on our list of things to purchase for next year, we're over here saving money. Like, I get excited about this stuff if you guys can't tell. So 15 seems to be a good price point. Again, we're trying to go from we're going to add either 12 to 18 hives. So we said at 18, our lowest is still is promotional sale plus the box build plus the simple frames. There are more items that we'd have to purchase over buying 15 hive sets, which again, not that big of a deal, but it's over here saying if we buy the fully disassembled manual build cost, it is not the cheapest option. Sometimes it is. It's a lot of effort. And we have to store a bunch of things that we don't need right away. So again, just trying to be informed about our purchases so that we can get the most bang for our buck. So through walking through this exercise and making data-based decisions, what has become apparent to us is that we have to have that vision and that plan for the next year so that we're not scrambling. We have what we need when we need it. We're able to take advantage of sales. We're able to take advantage of not putting in any more effort than we have to. If we could buy things that are already painted, if we could buy things that are already assembled, like, I'm here for this. So having a vision and a plan for the next year, next few years can really pay off in the long run. So that was one of the takeaways for us. Sales are great was another one, like paying attention to those, getting those email notifications so that we could jump on executing our plan for the coming year. And the last point that we've realized is that even having a few pieces of equipment extra, having some hive boxes, some honey boxes, having those on hand never hurts. So we really don't like paying shipping charges from Mann Lake. And so if we have those on hand, then we're able to make the best plan and execute on that. So hope that this was helpful for you all. Again, if any of you want a copy of this Excel sheet. We love sharing things, and we will keep it updated. And so if you want that, leave a comment below, and we hope you have a great day. Bye.